What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk, baby. Let's go. Before we jump into it, though, can you do me a huge favor? And you smash that like button. And if you haven't already made the commitment, well, what are you waiting on? Come on. I committed to you all. It's free. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Like watching my content consistently without hitting that subscribe button. I mean, it's like theft. I mean, come on, bro. That's all I'm asking. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it. For all those that have already subscribed, you know what's up. Much love, y'all. All right, let's jump into this, man. Let's jump into it. So, topic for this video: the YNW Melly trial. All right. I'm going to recap the last couple days. I kind of missed yesterday's video. I didn't have a lot of time. I was super busy, so I just got the Idaho 4 video out, little rant. But yeah, so let's just jump into it. So, what do we got? We've got more, law enforcement testimony, like actual detective testimony. And we also have, Melly's boy, one of his friends had testified. And we'll just get into it, dude. What we're hearing in the last couple days just paints a much more clear picture of what happened that night. So now it's like we had the video of them leaving the studio. We got, digital footprints of, the car ride, the suspected, incident, the suspected setup, we have all that. But now, you know what I mean? Now we have a little bit more defined evidence, and it's looking more and more like there's going to be no way to refute, for defense to refute that that's Melly's phone, for one. And by eliminating their ability to refute that, it literally puts them there, right? It puts them at the scene of the crime. And then now we got a little bit of information as far as what had transpired afterwards, where he was, how he was acting, what he was wearing. And we know for a fact this dude has changed. He's changed after the incident, right? And one of the things that is funny is like the people that are connected with Melly that have had to take the stand reluctantly, most points, they're giving us a little bit of details that match what prosecution saying, but it's also a lot of what they're not saying or what they're choosing to forget. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, okay, you remember these details, but yet you don't remember these details. And these details, if you would remember them, would pretty much seal the deal for this conviction. So having multiple people come up so far that the prosecution's called who are connected to Melly, and them having amnesia on certain details but knowing other details really well, it's like it just paints a story, read between the lines, right? It's not too hard to figure out. Not too hard at all. So at this point, with everything we've heard so far at this point, the last couple of days on top of that, bro, I'm going to reiterate again. There is no way he is innocent. He either pulled those triggers or was there when the trigger was pulled on his friends. But in my opinion, shot placement, position in the car, all the digital footprint, everything. He did this, man. There is no way around it. He did this. And it's funny because even like on Law and Crime, right? That's who I've been watching, the live trial through. Even on Law and Crime, what's weird, dude, they've been really biased. I don't care what they claim. They've been really biased towards Melly being innocent. Even like all their talking heads, all the professionals that, getting up there and giving their opinions, it's been super biased. It's really strange. It's super strange. But that being said, even with that, the bias, opinions, I'm watching the poll go from like maybe 7% people thought, Melly was guilty, to now it's like up at 33% on the daily poll, on him being guilty. So for that channel, that network, to be so biased, and then to see how many people started off in those like 80K live chats, saying that he was, innocent, to now all of a sudden, it's climbed up to 33% guilty. I think that, like, I don't think that literally shows how well prosecution's laying out this case and how good of a job the detectives did, and cracking this case. They've done an amazing job. And, I'd say defense came out pretty hot that first week. They had some points, and they did a couple good things. But if you're watching this trial right now, I'm watching defense lose their crap, dude. Like, objecting to so many things because they know they're screwed. They know they're screwed. And granted, Melly's got some. He's got some heavy guns. He's got some, no pun intended, but he's got some heavy shooters there with that defense team. There's some freaking, knowledge there. There's some experience there. But if you're reading that body language and their responses, it's, dude, they know they're in trouble. They know they're in trouble. So these calm objections they had before, now it's getting pretty tense. It's like you can sense the anger, you know what I mean, when they're objecting to things. They can't stand that the amount of evidence that's been able to be brought in has been brought in. You can tell they've tried to like do their best to mitigate the amount of evidence coming in that makes their client look guilty as hell. But there's only so much they can do. And you can tell they're pretty upset by it. They're pretty upset by it. And I don't know. I just feel like that speaks volumes on where this trial is going. So, yeah, we got some more days of this. We definitely got some more days. And we'll see, what prosecution has to say. And then we'll see what the defense tries to pull together. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're going to have their witnesses. They're professionals for the digital footprints and, the DNA, this, that, and the third. But as of right now, man, that prosecution team has laid out such a sound game plan. Like, the narrative, the timeline, the whole story is so sound and makes so much sense that I don't know what paid professionals are going to be able to get up there and flip that around and cause some doubt. Because at this point, like I said, I'm going to assume that the jurors on that stand aren't as ignorant as, a mass majority of the people watching this live that are just blind Melly supporters, or people that are listening to the talking heads on Law and Crime and actually believing what they're saying. Man, most of those people that have been on Law and Crime lately for this trial, like, I kind of looked at Law and Crime a lot more solid than I do now over this trial. Like, most of the cases and stuff they cover, they tend to be pretty unbiased about it. But this trial from the jump, it's like, damn, dude. It almost seems like everybody they brought up to talk about this trial is like Melly supporters or Melly fans, the way they talk about it and the way they doubt the prosecution and all this. So, yeah, man, you're either incredibly ignorant if you think this man's, innocent, or you've been brainwashed, I guess, by Law and Crime and their talking heads that go on there. But either way, that's another thing, is like, that's why I'm a firm believer in looking at stuff rationally and logically and, noticing patterns. Because if you don't learn how to do that following true crime, and you're watching these trials or you're listening to these big, networks and them giving their opinions, you could easily be led astray. And I know a lot of us that follow true crime, we like to talk true crime as well, right? So it's like, whether it's in person with friends or on panels or in chats, we like to kick around ideas, talk true crime. So if you're one of those people who like to do that, and you haven't obtained that critical thinking, that rational thought process and that pattern recognition, and you're being led astray by one of these big networks, dude, I feel bad for you. I really do. Because you're just going to look absolutely ignorant. So, that being said, obviously, I'm going to keep following Law and Crime because they're one of the few people that are putting out live trials like this, right? That coverage. And obviously, that's how I make some of these videos that I make, is watching the trials live. But I've definitely whenever they start, when it's non-trial coverage and they're just, they have their guys up there talking and giving their opinions and talking to experts and giving their opinions, I'm taking that with a huge grain of salt if I even watch them at all at this point, because I'd say 96, 97% of what I've seen connected to this trial outside of the live coverage, it's been absolutely nonsense. And I'll be honest too, the Travis Rudolph case before this kind of had the same trend going. It kind of had the same trend where it was like they were kind of biased towards him being guilty. And the whole time I was looking at it, I was like, dude, this man's innocent. And then what I noticed too is other content creators that were covering the trial didn't seem like they were covering it with their own original thoughts on it. It was like almost like they took Law and Crime's biased coverage and were running with that. And that's that's kind of what I'm seeing now in this trial too, is like it doesn't seem like there's a lot of content creators out there that know how to watch content, watch trials, watch coverage, any of that stuff, and then come up with their own rational thought on it, like their own rational breakdown. Their own, they can't critically think about what they're consuming and then break it down in their own heads. So all they do is they'll find the clips, they'll find this and that, they'll probably repost that to their live stream, and then they'll give their opinions that are basically the same opinions that the big networks are giving, which is it's sad, bro. Like, come on, think for yourself. That's one of the problems with our country is too many people have been dumbed down, and they don't believe that they can critically think for themselves, and they think if they have an opposing opinion from a bigger network or another person that might have some, more viewers or more clout, that they're wrong. No, dude, critically think for yourself, come up with your own opinions, and stick to your guns, man. That's how I run with it. And when I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But as of right now, I got a pretty good batting average. So I don't know, man. Anyways, I digress off of that. Once again, I'm pretty sure, I'm actually like 99% sure that this is going to come down to a guilty verdict. I don't see a wild card defense can have up their sleeve for this trial. I just don't. And then I'm really interested to see once the defense really starts rolling into their part of the trial. I'm interested to see how well prosecution does on the crosses and dismantles whatever defense has coming. I'm super interested on that, because this trial, like I said, it's had some twists and some turns. And like I said, if you've been watching from the jump, I think defense really did come out strong. I think they were doing a really good job at first, but it didn't take very long for. It's almost like a good movie, the ones that start out kind of slow, and it's kind of like it takes a little while to get into it, but once it gets into it, it's like, damn, it's a good movie. That's kind of how this trial has been. Defense came out, they kind of did their thing, was kind of flashy, had that. I feel like they had the energy from Melly supporters behind them, but then the more prosecution laid that foundation, it was just like the story started picking up and it started getting good. And that's where I feel like we're at right now. I feel like we're deep off in a good story now, and I just don't see how defense is going to be able to derail that momentum. I don't see it. So, but anyways, guys, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up for this topic. I got some more videos I got to work on and get out to y'all. Hope you guys have a terrific Tuesday. Throwing back them tacos and stuff. Taco Tuesday, baby. Yeah. Other than that, man, it's your boy, the Piscine Predator, aka TPP, baby. And until the next video, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.